What is a high value man? Glad you asked. Let's define it.
Most people consider a high value man someone who has the capability to provide, someone who makes a certain amount of money, someone who has the capability to protect, someone with a certain position or power or a certain physique, someone who has the capability to please. Along with the large bank account or the large physique, they also have a large, you know what I mean, and someone who has the capability to partner, someone who has a large network or who is accepted by other high value men or attractive to other men and women. I would just like to add to the discussion that a high value man has the highest value when he demonstrates the capability to value someone else as much as he values himself. His capability will tell you what he can do, but his character and his care and concern for others will tell you what he will do. He may be able to provide and protect and please and partner with you, but the question is, will he? Here's what the Bible encourages high value men to demonstrate as husbands. Husbands, love your wives just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, to make her holy, cleansing her by the washing with water through the word, and to present her to himself as a radiant church, without stain or wrinkle or any other blemish, but holy and blameless. In the same way, husbands are to love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. After all, no one ever hated their own body, but they feed and care for their body, just as Christ does the church. For we are members of his body. For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be united to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. A high value man has the highest value as a husband or potential husband when he demonstrates the capability, first of all, to sacrifice and serve. The example given in Ephesians is the example of Jesus, who sacrificed himself for the good of his body, the church, and who himself said that he did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. A high value husband, a high value man has the highest value not only when he is capable, but when he is willing to sacrifice and serve others. Kevin Samuels would actually probably agree with some of these things as he lists utility in a man's usefulness to the group or usefulness to others as a part of his definition of a high value man.
If you have all these resources, all this stuff, but it's all hoarded for your own selfish ends and no one can benefit from your money, your network, or anything you have, how valuable are you to the group, to the world, to other people?
Ephesians chapter 5 says that he loves and he gives in the same way that Jesus loved and gave. A high value man may have the capability to lead, but according to Ephesians chapter 5, he has to demonstrate the capability to love. Love is a word that's repeated more than once in Ephesians chapter 5. The word lead is not there. Although I believe that men should be leaders, we should be sacrificial leaders. We should be servant leaders, looking not to be served or worrying about how much a woman is submitting as much as we are how we are serving. It's easier to submit to a man who is a servant, a man who demonstrates that he has the best interest of others in mind and not just himself. A high value man as a husband or potential husband also has the highest value when he demonstrates the capability to share and support. You see words in Ephesians 5 like love and feed. Remember, just because a high value man has the capability to provide doesn't mean he's going to share anything with you. It doesn't mean he's going to support you. If he's a high value husband, then he will love and feed. A high value man has the highest value also when he demonstrates the capability to safeguard and shelter. You see words in Ephesians chapter 5 like love and care. And in this sense, care means like clothing someone in the cold or sheltering someone in the rain. protecting someone from a cold world, not just protecting them physically, but safeguarding them and sheltering them from all the trouble and harm and danger in the world. Remember, just because he has the capability to protect doesn't mean that he will protect you. He may stand out to you as a high value man, but the question is, will he stand up for you and safeguard and shelter you from a cruel, cold world? Lastly, a high value man has the highest value when he demonstrates the capability to settle down and satisfy. You see words in Ephesians 5 and in other places of the Bible where he leaves and unites and becomes one flesh. After God took Adam's rib and created Eve, Adam looked at her and thought of her and said that this is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. He viewed her like he viewed his own bones, his own flesh, his own body. And ever since, the standard has been set that men are to love their wives and treat women in a way like we are one body and one flesh. Remember, just because he has the capability to partner doesn't mean he's going to partner with you. A high value husband is not only capable of partnering, but also willing to partner and prioritize the partnership that he has with you. Prioritize it over partnerships with other women. Prioritize it over partnerships with other men. Prioritize it over his father and mother who he leaves so that he could be united and become one body, one flesh with his wife. The capabilities of a high value man to provide and protect and to please and to partner with you don't matter much if they're not willing to do any of those things. So even more, we should be looking for and being high value men who demonstrate the character and a concern for others and not just ourselves. The capabilities are not just capabilities that need to be demonstrated after you become a husband or after we are married. These are capabilities that we have to practice before we are married. So they're not just for present husbands, but they're also for potential husbands, for all men to learn. Otherwise, you're going to learn them the hard way in marriage or after marriage and lose things that you don't want to lose. Hurt people you don't want to hurt. Struggle with things you don't have to struggle with. A high value man develops and demonstrates these things throughout his life.